Hello, my beautiful friends. Another update from the Victoria real estate market here in beautiful BC. I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I got another real estate question, and I always like to answer the questions while I'm on the go. So forgive me here. Okay, so I'm back on the road. Cool. All right. So the question I got this time was real estate commissions. How does that all work? And I'm using you as my agent. Do I have to pay you? What's the whole deal around that? And you know me, I'm completely transparent. I tell everyone up front how it all works. Okay. So typically, how it works when you work as I'm the buyer's agent. Okay. What happens is in British Columbia, by law, we have to disclose. So when you write an offer on a home, we have to disclose to you how much commission we make on every transaction. So first and foremost, you'll always know what we make. Secondly, you will not have to pay the buyer's agent. Typically, if I take you to a listing, the listing agent's commission will be split with me, so you don't have to worry about paying me. Now, some agents do this. I don't, unless it's a really it's a very hard transaction. It's over 40 million or 20 million. Uh, sign what they call a buyer's agency agreement. And what the buyer's agency agreement says is that in the event you end up buying, okay, or in the event that you end up buying with another realtor or whatnot, you still have to pay me my commission. Not only that, in the event we end up buying a property where the seller isn't going to pay me a commission, there is no seller's agent, or the seller agent is not going to pay you a commission, you need to pay me my fee. There is an agreement to that effect. But the good news is, at all points, if you are to pay any fee, it will be disclosed. So don't just sign papers. Find out if you need to pay a fee, um, is what I would say. Okay? So that is very important. And but for the most part, with all my clients, the good news is don't worry about it. I'll only the only time, again, I'll come to you about commission is in the event that I'm not being covered. But for the most part, the seller's agent, what they do is they split their commission with me, and that amount usually is 3% on the first 100,000 and 1.5% on the remainder, which we disclose to you, we put on paper for you, and we ask you to sign off on. So again, the good news is at all points, oh, sorry, my screen today is acting a bit funny. Hopefully I'll get it back on track shortly. So you will know at all points what you're paying, and at no point will you be engaged into something unless it's disclosed. We have to disclose everything, and that's another thing. Um, with the laws of contracts, they can't later come to you for nothing if you haven't signed for it. You can clearly say, listen, you're saying I owe you this. I never signed for it. Or that's why whatever. And also, there is such a thing as verbal contracts, so I would be careful also what I say. But for the most part, guys, don't worry. It can get a lot technical. It all comes down to typically what's in writing, and what's in writing for commissions and whatnot is all disclosed. The buyer's agent does not have to worry about the realtor's commission for the most part, because if it's a listed property, the seller's agent will split it with you. One thing, a tip that a lot of people do not know, there's some listings that are 1% realty. Now, for me, it's ultimately what my client wants and what works for them. I'm all about, you know, life is too short. We just got to help each other. If you want something, let's go ahead and buy it. But I will tell you something that, colleagues have told me, I'm aware of, and I like to share with you. There are some listings that are done by discounted realtors. So they call them 1% realty, or, these other discounted brokerages. And what they do is they tell the seller, I'll list your house for this much. so you can just get on the MLS. And don't worry, I'll just put a low fee for the buyer's agent, like a flat, $500 fee. Whereas this agent who's been working with this buyer could take them elsewhere and make their full commission, which could sometimes be, I don't know, $5,000, $8,000. So they're like, am I going to take my buyer to this property that's only going to pay me $1,000? Or I'll find a reason to take them to this other property that pays me my full commission because I've worked with this realtor. So, I just showed a property to a buyer of mine last week, and he's like, this is a lovely house. Why is it not selling? And I said, I'll be honest with you guys. The reason why it's not selling and it's such a great neighborhood is because it's listed with 1% Realty. It doesn't make a difference to me, but they've basically discounted the realtor's commission. So most likely the realtor isn't bringing his clients through here. It's not worth his time, or I don't know. So be aware of that as well. To some, it's important. For me, ultimately, if you're happy at some point later on, don't worry. It's all about, putting your needs first, and the rest will work out. Whether it's a 500, 5,000, if you're happy, that to me is the best reward. And I've just found taking that approach in life of just being positive and helping others, the rest figures itself out, and the rest is a bonus, really. So I love to be transparent with you guys and explain to you that question that's come through. For selling agents, so I've talked about buyers and the commission the realtors get. You don't have to worry about it unless they make you sign an agreement to say, in the event that I go to a listing where they're not going to pay me, or it's for sale by owner and they're not going to pay, you agree to pay me my commission. Because sometimes a realtor could find you a really good deal, right? Like, let's look at all the scenarios. They could find you a property that wasn't listed, and it's a great opportunity, and you're probably saving 50,000. I'd be like, sure, I'll pay you your commission. So you could do an agreement to say, go find me a good deal, I'll pay you a fee as well if it's not listed. So there are those approaches too. But for the most part, buyers, don't worry, the listing agent fits their commission. Now, sorry, I'm sounding a bit redundant. Going to the seller. If you're a seller and you're looking to sell because you want the realtors with their buyers, you're going to have to pay full commission so your agent can split their commission with someone else when they come along. And that commission is 6% on the first 100,000 and 3% on the remainder. And when the buyer's agent comes along, they give them half, which is 3% on the first 100,000 and 1.5% on the remainder. And when you go into the MLS system, you will see they disclose on every listing how much the agent makes. And that's why I told you, some realtors, when they see, what, I make $1,000, I'm not taking my guy there. You see, that is fully disclosed on the back end. So they know when they're going to show a property what they're getting. Okay. Again, for me, doesn't matter. You want to go see a property, we'll go see it. I don't worry about that next part there. We'll figure it out later, right? And the other thing is, if there's a good opportunity, I'll bring it your way and we can discuss you see, my approach is always win-win. If you're happy, I'm happy, it was a good transaction. So we'll discuss it when it comes to that. But for the most part, guys, don't worry. For the sellers, it's standard. I would never advise discounting for the same reason of those discounted brokerages. The realtors just may not bring their buyers and you may not get the price you want. Because that particular listing that was sitting, that I was telling you that I went with my client, and they're like, why is it not selling? It's a beautiful area. They dropped the price twice. So yeah, you may want to cheap out on not paying the other agent, but what will happen as a result, you may end up dropping your price as a result too. So I say just do what the others are doing if you want to do it right, or if you're going to do it yourself, really price it to go. I mean, those for sale by owners. But honestly, it always pays off. In my opinion, I would pay someone. Actually, I did. When I listed my house, we're not allowed to be an agent for our own home just for insurance and liability purposes. I listed with another agent colleague of mine. I said, could you list my home for me? And by doing that, you've got peace of mind. And I know that whatever I'm asking for and whatever advice my colleague's giving me, even though I am in the game as well, I know that he's going to take care of business and he's going to get those agents through and get me the most money for my home. And most money for your home also means take care of those guys so they can get you what you want to. That's the reality of things. So on the seller side, buyer side, completely transparent of what the psychology is out there, how it all works. But honestly, at the end of the day, the market demand and supply will tell you what that price is, not commissions, not all the other stuff. Demand and supply. And right now, demand is high, supply is low on Vancouver Island. And, sellers, your fees for those agents get covered in that price easily, because demand is so high and there's not enough supply. So everyone, I hope you have a wonderful, what is it, Tuesday this week? It's month end. It's month end's coming up already. January's done. So I wish you all a safe, we're going to get through 2021 with positivity. Lots of change is going to be coming, good change. And I am confident that in the real estate market as well, we're going to see this spring may be a record breaking spring, but we're going to see the condo market stabilize, and the housing market probably by next year starting to stabilize. But I'm nervous to say anything because when I thought that it would drop, it just kept going up. So we just don't know what's going on, but we know demand is really high here on the island and supply is low, and that means prices will just keep going up. So on that note, guys, inflation's also on the horizon. I mean, I keep hearing builders complaining that, man, cost of goods for building has gone up significantly. Expect costs to go up for buildings and renovations, and house values going up too. So that's my spiel for the day, guys. Have a safe week and we'll chat soon. Any questions, email me, info@bchomegroup.ca. And if you have any questions, subscribe to my channel and maybe I'll answer some of those questions, or you ask me them and I'll answer them later on. Cheers, guys. Take care.